Listen closely, chosen ones. Something powerful is happening. The barrier between this world and the spiritual world is thinner than ever. If your heart is open, you can feel it. A shift is taking place, something divine. God's messengers, the four angels, have arrived. This isn't just symbolic or poetic talk. This is real. These angels have been sent with messages that will change everything you thought you knew. For a long time, these truths have been hidden, but now it's time to reveal them. This message isn't for everyone. It's not meant for people still lost in the comfort of their everyday lives or distracted by worldly pleasures. It's meant for the few, the chosen ones, the 144,000, the ones set apart before the world began. If you feel something stir deep in your soul, if you've always sensed you were made for more, then this message is for you. You are being called. And this call is not random, it is divine. Maybe you've wondered why your life has always felt different, why your journey has been harder, lonelier, but still full of meaning, why you've carried heavy burdens that others don't understand, why you've been misunderstood or even rejected. It's because your path was never supposed to be easy. You were never meant to follow the crowd. God set you apart for a reason. The time of waiting is over. These four angels aren't bringing soft comfort, they bring truth. They carry instructions that will wake up your spirit. Once you receive their messages, you will never be the same. There's no going back after this. Only forward. The world has tricked you since you were born. It taught you what to want, what to value, and who to be. It shaped your dreams, your goals, even your sense of worth. But how much of that was ever really yours? Deep down, you've always known something wasn't right. You tried to follow the rules, to fit in, but nothing ever truly satisfied your spirit. That feeling of not belonging? It's not a flaw. It's a sign. Your soul was never meant to blend in. Jesus himself said, "You do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world." You weren't created to follow a broken system. You were chosen to rise above it. Think of Moses. Raised in luxury in Pharaoh's palace, he had everything: wealth, power, status. But inside, he was restless. He knew he didn't belong. When the time came, he left it all behind to follow his true calling, to lead his people to freedom. Or think of Malcolm X, a man born into a world of lies and confusion. For a time, he followed the path laid out for him by society. But once the truth reached him, he woke up. He broke free from the system that tried to control him and stepped into a greater purpose. Now, it's your turn. Wake up. See the world for what it is. Let go of the false dreams it's fed you. You were never meant to chase after meaningless things that leave your soul empty. The success the world offers is like a golden cage, shiny on the outside but cold and lonely inside. So many people reach the top and still feel empty. Look at someone like Robin Williams. He brought laughter to millions but silently battled deep pain. Even with fame and success, something was missing. Because true peace doesn't come from money, attention, or approval. It comes from knowing who you are in God. The world trains you to chase approval. It wants you to live for likes, followers, praise from others. But that kind of validation is a trap. It keeps you tied to the opinions of people who don't know your worth. Jesus warned about this too. He said people love human praise more than praise from God. Why let others define you? Why live for applause from people who don't see your soul? Look at Daniel. He was told to stop praying or face death. He didn't care what others thought. He didn't stop. He chose truth over safety, and God honored him. You're being called to do the same, to stand for something greater than people's approval. You weren't made for shallow pleasures. The parties, the scrolling, the chasing of trends, it's all empty. Maybe it distracts you for a while, but it never fills the hole in your heart. That's because this world offers fake joy. Only God offers real peace and purpose. The Bible says, "I have seen all the things done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind." Deep down, you already know this. You felt it. So how long will you keep pretending that these things will finally make you happy? It's time to stop. It's time to break the cycle. You've always known you were different. Even as a child, you saw things differently. You asked deeper questions. You felt a strange tension, like something was off. Like this world wasn't quite right. You tried to fit in. You tried to follow the path everyone else was on, but your soul resisted. That wasn't rebellion, it was clarity. A part of you has always known there is something more. You are waking up now. Waking up to the truth. The truth that most people are too distracted to see. Stop and look at your life. How many of your beliefs are really yours? How many were just handed to you by family, school, media, or society? How many of your dreams were planted in you by a world that never had your best interest at heart? Isaiah warned us long ago, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil." This world has twisted things. It tells you lies and makes you feel crazy for seeing the truth. But you are not crazy. You're just awake. The only way to be free is to stop falling for the lies. The only way to live the life you were meant to live is to break the chains. Let go of what no longer serves you. Think about the prophets. Elijah stood alone against a nation that worshiped lies. He was hunted and hated, but he stayed true. God gave him sight that others didn't have. He saw through the illusion. If you feel like you often walk alone, maybe that's because you were given the same gift to see what others cannot. But with that gift comes a price. You can't keep pretending. You can't stay asleep. You can't cling to habits or people that pull you back. You've come too far to turn around now. Let go of the things that are holding you down. Let go of the fear, the doubt, the guilt. Let go of the need to be liked or accepted. Let go of the fake version of yourself that you've had to wear to survive. God is calling you to rise. This is your moment. The time has come. The 4 angels have arrived with 4 powerful truths that will shake your soul and awaken your spirit. These aren't just messages, they are a call to action. Once you hear them, everything will change. You were not meant to live in chains. You were meant to be free. You were not made to fit in. You were chosen to stand out. You were not created to follow the crowd. You were called to lead. Think about Jim Carrey, one of the most famous actors in the world. He had everything, money, fame, and the life so many people dream of. But even when he had it all, he felt empty. He once said, "I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer." That's a powerful truth. Sometimes we chase things thinking they will make us happy, only to find that they don't fill the emptiness inside us. They don't bring peace. They don't bring meaning. And when we realize that, it shakes us. You may have had similar moments in your life, times when you thought, "If I just get this job or this person or this success, I'll be happy." And maybe you did get those things, but something still felt missing. That's not a failure. That's a message. You're starting to see that the things the world promises, money, popularity, success, can't truly satisfy your soul. This moment, this realization, could be your turning point. You can keep chasing the same things, or you can search for something deeper, something real. Have you ever felt like you don't belong? Like no matter how hard you try to fit in, people still misunderstand you, ignore you, or reject you? It's painful. But maybe that rejection is not a bad thing. Maybe it's a sign that you were never meant to fit into the world system. Maybe you were created for something different, something greater. Even Jesus spoke about this. He said, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first." If you fit perfectly into the world, it would accept you. But if you don't belong to it, it will push you out. That's not a punishment, it's confirmation. It means your spirit is different. You were chosen for something beyond the world's approval. Have you ever noticed that some people are uncomfortable around you even when you haven't done anything wrong? Or that people either really connect with you or push you away without explanation? That's because there's something different about you. Your spirit carries a kind of light, a quiet power that others can feel. Some people are drawn to it, others fear it. But either way, it can't be ignored. Look at the story of Joseph from the Bible. His brothers hated him, not because he hurt them, but because he had something special. He had big dreams. He had favor on his life. They couldn't handle it. So they betrayed him, sold him, and thought they had gotten rid of him. But what they meant for harm, God used for good. Joseph's pain led him to a position where he could save many people. His suffering had a purpose. What if the same is true for you? What if your rejection and pain have been shaping you, preparing you for something bigger than you can imagine? Maybe every closed door was leading you to a better one. Maybe your story isn't over, it's just getting started. Even today, there are examples of people who were ahead of their time. Take Nikola Tesla, a brilliant inventor. He had ideas that could have changed the world. But people didn't understand him. They laughed at him, ignored him, and tried to erase him. But now we see his genius. His story is a reminder that being rejected doesn't mean you're wrong. It might mean you're just early. You weren't made to blend in. Every time you felt out of place, it was because you were meant to stand out. The world runs on rules about status, control, and popularity. But your spirit was built for more. You weren't made to follow the crowd. You were made to lead by walking a different path. Even Jesus said, "They are not of the world, just as I am not of the world." That means you don't belong to this world's systems. And deep down, you've probably always felt it. That feeling inside you, that quiet voice that says, "This isn't right," is the truth trying to wake you up. You're different, and that difference is your strength. Remember the story of David, the young shepherd boy? When a prophet came looking for Israel's next king, David wasn't even invited into the room. He was overlooked, forgotten. But he was the one God had chosen. While others were chasing attention, David was learning, growing, and getting stronger in silence. And when the time came, he was ready. He had been prepared through isolation. Maybe you've been through seasons like that too, quiet times, lonely moments when you felt invisible. But what if those times weren't wasted? What if they were preparing you for something important? What if rejection wasn't the end, but the beginning? Think about Albert Einstein. As a child, teachers thought he was slow. He didn't fit into their way of thinking. But that wasn't because he lacked intelligence. It was because his mind worked on a level they couldn't understand. Today, he's known as one of the greatest minds in history. He didn't belong in their system, and neither do you. So when you feel like you're alone, remember this. It might be a sign that you're set apart, that you're carrying something powerful inside. Others might not see it yet, but that doesn't mean it's not real. Heaven sees it. And when the time is right, the world will too. You've probably had people turn against you for no reason. Maybe people you trusted suddenly pulled away. Maybe others tried to make you feel small. That's not because you were the problem. It's because your light reminded them of the darkness they didn't want to face. Instead of changing, they turned on you. But don't take it personally. It's not about you, it's about what you carry. The enemy knows your potential. That's why the attacks have been so strong. He's tried to make you doubt yourself, to believe lies like you're not good enough or you're too different. But here's the truth. You are not the problem. You are the threat. They fear your light. They fear your wisdom. They fear how your presence shifts the atmosphere. Even before you speak, people sense something in you. That's because your spirit carries a power that can't be explained. And the enemy has been trying to silence you before you fully step into it. Every lonely moment, every tear you cried when no one was looking, every time you felt left behind, it wasn't for nothing. It was preparing you. You were being refined like gold in fire. God was removing your need for human approval. He was teaching you to find your worth in Him, not in others. Just like Joseph was betrayed before he fulfilled his purpose, your hard road has been part of your training. What the enemy meant for evil, God will use for good. Even in our world today, look at someone like Oprah Winfrey. She faced rejection, abuse, and pain. She was told she would never succeed. But she didn't let the world's opinions define her. She let her pain fuel her purpose. And now, she's a symbol of what can happen when you refuse to be silenced. Your story can be the same. You were never forgotten. God has always been with you, even when you felt alone. You were never worthless. Your value was just too great for some to see. You were never left behind. Heaven has been walking with you every step of the way. Now it's time to stop apologizing for who you are. Stop trying to fit in. You were never meant to. You were born to shine. You were chosen for something greater. That's why the struggle has been so tough, because your purpose is so big. Don't let rejection stop you. Don't let loneliness make you quit. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are powerful, and the enemy knows it. There comes a time in life when you have to stop holding yourself back just to make others feel comfortable. You can't keep shrinking, pretending, or hiding who you truly are because someone else might not like it. Too often, we stay silent to avoid upsetting people who aren't ready to hear the truth. But what if your silence is costing you your purpose? What if hiding your light is keeping others in the dark? The world teaches us that being different is something to be ashamed of, that standing out means you're wrong, that being honest is too much. But the truth is, the time for playing small is over. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. Let them talk. Let them stare. Let them misunderstand. Their opinions do not define your purpose. Their approval does not decide your value. You were not born to win everyone's favor. You were sent here for a purpose, and sometimes that purpose will offend people. Sometimes your truth will make others uncomfortable. That's okay. That's not your fault. You are not here to keep people happy. You are here to bring light into darkness, to speak truth where lies have lived for too long, and to live fully as who you were created to be. Think of the ones who came before us. Jesus wasn't liked by the leaders of his time. In fact, they hated him. The Pharisees and religious leaders plotted against him. Even people from his own community turned away. But did Jesus water down his message to be accepted? No, he kept going. He kept speaking truth, even when it made others angry. He knew his mission was more important than being liked. He was sent to disrupt the system, to expose what was false, and to carry out his calling. He stayed true, even when it cost him everything. Now, it's your turn. You were not made to blend in. You were made to bring change. You were chosen to shake things up, to challenge what is false, and to bring light into places that have long been dark. This won't always be easy. People who live in lies often feel uneasy around those who live in truth. But that doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're doing something right. Your presence alone can be a threat to falsehood because truth always challenges what is fake. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. He wasn't popular with everyone. He wasn't celebrated by the system. He was watched, threatened, arrested, and eventually killed, not because he was wrong, but because he told the truth. He didn't keep quiet. He didn't hold back. He stepped into his calling even though it cost him. And because he did, the world changed. Now ask yourself, will you follow your calling or will you keep waiting for the right time? You may be thinking, but I'm not ready. That's a thought that holds so many people back. The truth is, you may never feel ready. But if you wait until you're 100% confident, you might wait forever. The moment to act is now. You've already seen the signs. You've already felt the push. Deep down, you know what you're supposed to do. So why are you still hesitating? Even Moses asked God, "Who am I to do this?" But God didn't need someone perfect. He needed someone willing. God told Moses, "I will be with you." And that was enough. The same is true for you. It's not about how strong or smart you are. It's about who's with you. God doesn't wait for people to be perfect. He calls those who are willing to step forward. Many people wait their whole lives for the perfect moment. They wait for a sign, for approval, for things to feel easy. But that moment doesn't come. Steve Jobs once said, "Your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life." If he had waited for the perfect conditions, we wouldn't have the innovations he gave the world. He took risks. He acted. That's what changed things. And now, the choice is yours. Will you move or will you keep waiting? Heaven is moving. The time is now. The world needs more people who are brave, who speak up, who rise up. It doesn't need more silence or fear. You have what it takes. You've been prepared. Everything you need is already inside you. Now you just have to take the first step. Fear grows stronger the longer you wait. Doubt creeps in when you stay still. The enemy uses hesitation to keep you from your calling. If you stay stuck, you'll miss what was meant for you. Moses, Esther, David, they all had reasons to be afraid. But they moved anyway. And when they moved, God moved with them. Doors don't stay open forever. Opportunities don't always come again. Ecclesiastes says, "If you wait for perfect weather, you'll never plant anything. If you keep waiting for perfect conditions, you'll miss your chance." Don't let that happen. The world needs what you have to offer. Kobe Bryant didn't become great by waiting. He became great by trying, by failing, and by trying again. He saw every challenge as a chance to grow. You can do the same. Your fears are not signs to stop. They are signs that you are about to step into something bigger than yourself. You are ready. Not because you're perfect, but because you're willing. God uses those who say yes, even when they're scared. The real failure is not trying. Elon Musk didn't wait for guarantees. He risked his own money, his own reputation. People laughed. Experts said he would fail, but he kept going. He believed in the vision. And now, the world sees what's possible because he didn't give up. You've waited long enough. The call on your life is urgent. If you don't act now, you may miss what was meant for you. Faith doesn't mean knowing exactly how everything will turn out. It means trusting enough to take the next step. Abraham was called to leave everything familiar and go to a place he had never seen. He didn't have a map. He didn't have all the answers, but he had faith. He trusted the voice that called him. Because he obeyed, his story became the start of something huge. What if he had stayed? What if he had said, "I'm not ready"? Your faith has the same power to unlock miracles. There are moments in history that show us the power of one voice. Martin Luther King Jr. was one of those voices. Even when people threatened him, insulted him, or told him to be quiet, he kept speaking. He stood up for justice. He once said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." He understood that his voice had a purpose. It wasn't just for him, but for everyone who needed freedom. His courage teaches us something powerful. Staying silent in times of injustice only allows the wrong things to grow stronger. Just like Martin Luther King Jr., your voice matters too. You don't speak out to be popular or to get praise. You speak because you are called by something greater. You speak because truth needs to be heard and lives depend on it. Your voice has power in the spiritual world. It carries strength that can break chains and lift others up. You may not always feel ready, but that doesn't mean you aren't meant to speak. Sometimes your voice is exactly what someone else needs to hear to wake up from a life full of lies or confusion. The Bible tells us about John the Baptist. He wasn't rich or famous, and he didn't live in a big city. He lived in the wilderness, but people came to hear him because he spoke the truth. He said, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven has come near." His words were like a trumpet, loud, clear, and impossible to ignore. He didn't care about pleasing people. He was focused on doing what God had asked him to do. You have that same kind of calling. Your voice isn't just background noise. It's meant to shake things up. It's meant to break the sleep of those who have been distracted by the world. There is a fire inside you, and it wasn't meant to stay quiet. You weren't made to whisper. You were made to speak with boldness, to shine light into darkness, and to wake people up from their spiritual sleep. There are too many moments in life where we let fear stop us. We worry that we're not ready, that we're not good enough, or that no one will listen. But God doesn't choose people based on their confidence or how perfect they are. He chooses people who are willing. Moses didn't think he could speak well, but God used him to lead a nation. Elijah stood alone against false prophets and still stood strong. Ezekiel spoke to dry bones, and they came back to life. None of them were chosen because they were the best. They were chosen because they said yes. So, what about you? Will you say yes? Or will you keep waiting for a better time, a time when you feel more ready? The truth is, that time might never come. The only thing that really matters is your willingness to obey. Fear may try to stop you. Doubt may whisper in your ear. But heaven has already called you. You are already chosen. You don't need to prove anything. God sees your heart, and he knows you can do this with him by your side. Gideon is another example. He thought he was too weak, too small, too unimportant. But when an angel came to him, the angel didn't see a weak man. He said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Even though Gideon didn't feel brave, heaven already saw him as a fighter. And the same is true for you. You may feel small, but heaven sees you as strong. You've been through trials. You've been tested. You've been prepared for this moment. Look at the world today. Darkness is louder than ever. Lies are everywhere. But God's people are rising up. They are finding their voice. You are part of that movement. You were never meant to sit on the sidelines and watch. You are not just a fan of faith. You are a player on the field. You are a warrior with a mission. Even leaders in history who changed the world didn't wait until they were fully prepared. Nelson Mandela spent years in prison, but when he came out, he led with courage. He said, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it." He didn't let fear rule him, and you don't have to either. Maybe you've been waiting. Maybe you've been telling yourself that you'll speak up when you feel more certain. But what if that certainty never comes? What if the feeling of being ready is just another delay? God doesn't want perfection. He wants obedience. He wants your trust. Mother Teresa didn't have all the answers when she began. She just said yes, and God used her to change the world. Your story can be just as powerful. You already have what you need. God has given you everything to complete your mission. The words are inside you. The fire is already burning. All that's left is for you to speak. Heaven has already said yes to you. The only question is, will you say yes in return? Peter was another person who took a bold step. When Jesus told him to walk on water, Peter didn't stop to figure everything out. He stepped out. He doubted along the way, but he still walked on water. He did what others were too afraid to try. And later, Jesus called him the rock on which the church would be built. That moment of courage led to a powerful future. What step do you need to take today? God is not asking you to have everything figured out. He just wants you to trust Him. Your willingness matters more than your confidence. Even if you feel scared, step forward anyway. Heaven is cheering you on. Let this be your prayer. God, I know you've called me. I've been afraid, but today I say yes. I won't let fear or doubt hold me back any longer. I know you've given me a voice for a reason. I trust you to use it for good. I give you my fears, my past, and my hesitation. Set a fire in me. Speak through me. Let your truth be heard in everything I say. I belong to you, and I will follow you. This prayer is more than words. It's a turning point. It's a decision to stop holding back. It's a choice to walk in your calling. No more waiting. No more second guessing. No more letting fear win. The world needs the message inside you. Someone is waiting to hear the words you have to say. God didn't make a mistake when He called you. He knows your struggles, your past, your fears, but He still says you're chosen. You are part of a bigger story, one that stretches beyond what you can see. The 144,000 mentioned in the Bible represent God's chosen people, those with a mission to bring His truth to the world. That same mission is in your hands. As heaven moves, as the angels deliver their messages, you are part of the plan. This is not the time to stay silent. This is not the time to hide. It's time to rise, to speak, to be a light in the darkness. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing. If this message touches your heart, then don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Talk about it. Support those who are also stepping into their callings. Together, we are stronger. Together, we are part of the work God is doing on earth. Your voice can inspire others. Your faith can light the way for someone else. Even if you can't give money, your presence here matters. Just by reading, liking, sharing, or commenting, you're helping spread the message. You are part of something important. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And most of all, thank you for saying yes to the call. May God guide your steps, give you strength, and fill you with His love every day. You are not alone. Heaven is with you. The time is now. Step into your calling and speak the truth the world so desperately needs.